Hi, my name is Lucius. Today I am joined by Kaisel, and this is the second video in our 1,000 sub video little stint we're doing here, and it's just really a thank you to all of those people that have supported the channel and got us to this point. We really did this just a bit of fun, didn't really think anything would ever come of it, but it has taken us to a few places, and we've run our first tournament, we've been interviewed by other channel creators and stuff. And I think now that we've got to this 1,000 sub point, we just want to get a little bit more professional with some of our gear and produce some more interesting content for you guys. And if you do have suggestions for that, of what you'd like to see from us, or what the things you do like about the channel, please let us know down below. But this video, what we're really going to do, it's kind of like a pile of shame video X what we're working on right now and what we've completed. So in my part, I wanted to see to lay out all the different games that we play and the projects that I have, because I'm sort of in temporary accommodation at the moment. Everything's in storage, so I had to pull a lot of stuff out to get these, and there's a lot of stuff that I missed as well that I have in the works. But really, that was the idea of this video, and we hope you enjoy it. You got some thoughts on that one, Castle?
Yeah, you'll also see what happens when someone's reintroduced back into the hobby, and what a year and a half of being able to buy whatever the hell I wanted will look like. So, trigger warning: there's a lot of undercoat.
And I think what you'll see here, look, we go through all the main games that we play. It's not all the games; these are the Games Workshop ones anyway that we play, and you'll see our forces, what we're sort of working on at the moment, or what is we have projected. Maybe some stage, maybe when we're 80, we might get to. Not sure. I'm sort of sitting, like, having looked back over the video, like I'm sort of sitting on maybe 40% of the things that I own are painted, 40 to 50%, I think. I'm kind of happy about that because I actually own a lot of Games Workshop stuff. I was a little bit concerned when I went into this. I wasn't sure like how much I'd actually painted, but when I look at it, I've got a lot of serviceable stuff, and it's mainly just additions that I'm adding. But there are a lot of things I haven't painted too that I've really got to get to. What about you? How are you feeling on your pile of shame?
Yeah, my pile of shame. Like I know I have a problem. It's a time issue with me, and the fact that I get home and I just don't want to be looking at small things to paint. Even though it's relaxing in that, I've probably only got about like 5% painted of what I actually have, which is
To different people, different times. With me, I just try to paint in the afternoons. Everyone's watching TV, family. I'll sit down, watch TV, but I've got my own little table that I just paint at. And even if I get like one model done or I prime a few, and that I find by the end of the month I've a kill team done. Or something, you know what I mean? That's how I tend to work. And then when I do get the time, which is pretty rare, I just binge paint stuff. But yeah, I think if you guys are interested in this content, it's a pretty interesting video. This one, you'll see a lot of different armies, a lot of different ideas. We're really interested in your feedback as well, but we will put some timestamps. It's going to be a longer video, so we'll put some timestamps. So if you're only interested in certain things, like Age of Sigma or Kill Team or whatever you're interested in, then you can just jump to those and have a look at the got going.
yeah.
But for now, I reckon let's get started.
This is my Blades Corn army. Lucius and I basically went halves in the Corn and Slanesh box set that came out. Then I've been collecting through eBay primarily. In the back, you can see Bloodthirster and also another Start Collecting box that I'm going to be expanding on my bloodletters to basically make a giant bloodletter bomb. I really probably shouldn't say that in a video, but whatever. There's a lot that I'm missing. Like, the collector in me really wants to pick up some of the out of print miniatures and that sort of stuff. Like, Valkyrie may not actually be useful, but I kind of want it. One thing I am missing that I really want to get is some Slaughter Priests. The one that's out there, I don't like the look of it. There's an older out of print version. I kind of want to get that version more than anything. And also some Wrathmongers, but I need to see what synergizes well with them. So I
And
do
you've
have...
got mortal and demon focus, don't you? You could sort of go either way with your army.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Because I bought a lot of bulk from eBay and that sort of stuff, I bought more than what I needed. And that will allow me to either do one of both or a mixture.
Yeah,
I'm still yet to find out what I want to use. I think when I played you last, I went full demon.
yeah,
Um,
that did work because those bloodletters can
hmm.
really shred a keeper of secrets. Like, because they do a lot of wounds, hey, and lots of
Yeah,
damage. Like, because they get the damage bonuses, so that makes them really scary when you fight against them with big things.
yeah.
Other than that, the demonette shred them otherwise.
But as you can see, like I painted next to nothing. They're all like undercoated. I haven't had enough time. What my plan is basically to come back through and airbrush the bottoms of them blackish. Um, this is the bloodletters and that stuff, and the other units. We'll see what happens there. Just keeping to a solid black armor with gold trim, red skin, and a flameish type texture on the blades.
All right, this is the second half of the of that force that we originally collected together, which is my Hedonites of Slanesh. So you can see here I've spent a bit of time on this army. I don't have a lot to paint left. I did paint the main characters in the core of the force, so I've got like 20 demonettes, I've got seekers, I've got all the characters, keeper of secrets, chariots, fiends, all that sort of stuff. I did get some reinforcements there. You can see I've got some more seekers and some more demonettes that I need to paint. I was toying with the idea of getting some of the mortals, the new mortal stuff that they released, but to tell you the truth, on this one, the expense sort of turned me off a lot with the Games Workshop stuff. I mean, most of the stuff's like between $80 to 100 and something just for units of 5 or 10, which really turned me off. I need quite a lot, so I'm just not that rich at the moment. But I think I'll eventually get back into that. But I have always liked the demon focus of things, so I'll probably go with the traditional still and just expand my demon force a bit. I need a lot more demonettes. Um, your main troop tribe. I wouldn't mind another chariot; they're really good, and I wouldn't mind another keeper of secrets. They're really good as well. But again, it's just with this one a little bit expensive. There are a few models missing from this particular force that I'm showing on the screen at the moment too, because I think I realized when I filmed this that a lot of my demonettes are actually in my kill team boxes because I use them in my chaos demon force as well. So there are actually more demonettes that I have for this force as well.
Mm. I saw a nifty paint job this morning of a force when I jumped into Warhammer this morning. It was a pure black with dark purple highlights. Um,
Yeah, that'd look cool. I've seen
it
something similar.
yeah, it that looked really good. I'm just way too used to your like fluoro pink ones. So,
Yeah,
um,
well, it's kind of weird because I'm a Slanesh player in pretty much every game. I mean, I've
yeah,
got Epic Armageddon, Emperor's Children. I've got my Heretic Astartes and Kill Team Slanesh based. I've got Chaos Demons with Slanesh base as well, and then I've got Age of Sigmar Slanesh base as well. So it's sort of man, the amount of that pink that I've used is really crazy, and I've never. I think before this, I've never painted anything pink, but before these last couple of years of collecting all this sort of thing. So now it's just like a mainstay color. I probably put more
uh,
pink than it.
yeah, like because that's the thing. Like I see this like a Slanesh army, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it has to be pink. Wait, that's purple and black. Like, that's not right.
it yeah,
But yeah, but I don't know. Like I think our affinity to that color goes way back to the good old days where we I actually found it the other day. We got a white dwarf with a free chaos marine on the front of it, and I think we
yeah,
as a joke just decided to like paint it like bilious pink or something like that.
yeah. They used to have a color called titillating pink.
That's yeah.
Yeah, and I still have that. I have the original one from the 80s, and it's still. You know what? When I did my pink horrors for my demon team, I literally scraped some of that, added some paint thinner, and actually managed to salvage some of that pink just so I could put it on those models. But these ones have the new paints on them, and yeah, they come up pretty
Nice.
good. Just a few basic highlights. But yeah, that's my Hedonites of Slanesh. Like as with the other one, give me some suggestions of things to buy. I know I need another keeper secret, but they're just so expensive in Australia. They're like $200 something per keeper. So try justifying that one to your wife. But anyway, that's the Hedonites Army. Hope you enjoyed that. All right, so this is another experiment which both Kaisel and I have engaged on. That's through the Mortal Realm set. So I've decided to go the Nighthaunt, and he's decided to go for the Stormcast Eternals. So for me, what you're looking at now, I really haven't painted a lot of this. You can see there, I've got like a basic. I've done a couple of test paints, like there's a Banshee there. I've done a couple of the Chain Rasps and stuff like that. So that's just a test model that I have there that I'm showing you guys. But other than that, most of it is either assembled and primed, or it is in sprues still in the magazines, or because Scott and I've been trading here, I have a whole box full of Chain Rasps. This is a crazy large army at the moment, by the way, too. So I'm up to issue 31 of Mortal Realms. I'm assembling all these magazines as we sort of speak, all these ones that you're seeing, because there's so many, hey, and some of the terrain there I think really goes with the Nighthaunt as well, like all the graveyard stuff, the mausoleum and stuff. So that's why I've got it attached. Yeah, I'm getting to the point now with this army. I'm not sure on the Mortal Realms. I was talking about this the other day because the stuff coming up in the future, I've got most of the things that I want now. I've got massive amounts of troops. I've got something like 100 Chain Rasps now. I've got all the other stuff in between. Most of the special characters. I did buy Lady Orlando and the Grim Hailer as well, like on the Undead Pegasus thing. I bought them separately, plus a unit of Spirit Hosts, plus I'm getting all the other stuff. So the force I'll probably end up with, I can either go like full Chain Rasp spam, or I'm also thinking of having the wound sort of list with like all the Spirit Hosts and then all the things that keep adding units back to your army. So I think my plan with this one is to either go, just full Chain Rasp span, or just to have the Spirit Hosts and all the others like the Black Coach, everything that boosts them with lots of characters. So it's an interesting army, this one. I haven't managed to play it much. I've only had a couple of sample games in my own time, and look, it's pretty decent, and it looks cool. I am a little bit afraid of painting the same thing a million times again, with all the ghostly looking things. But I've decided what I'm going to do is use different tints to like let other units look different, just to save my painting sanity, because just painting all of those the same is going to do my friggin' head in, like after a million units. So you can see there I've got like hundreds and hundreds of models in this range to paint, and I think I might do the characters different as well, so everything stands out. Otherwise I might go insane. But that's my Nighthaunt army as it stands at the moment, and it's pretty formidable.
Okay, and as mentioned again, this is the second half of this. Because the first issue was so cheap, and the amount of value you got that from that first issue, we went a little bit crazy buying it. I think personally, I bought 6, maybe 7 issues. Gave Lucius all the Chain Rasps.
And I
I
bought
was left
about
with
5 or 6 too.
yeah. So I've got a full unit of like 30. I don't even know if I could actually field that many. Stormcast is something that I know nothing about at the moment. I'm just too busy focused elsewhere. I'm just collecting it for the sake of collecting it. But I do at some stage want to actually build, paint. Well, I have actually been. Most of my stuff has actually been put together. I think I've only got about 5 or 6 sprues that haven't been put together yet. But yeah, I know nothing about Stormcast at the moment. So if anyone wants to give me any pointers, what I should build, what synergies work well, anything like that, go for it, because yeah,
And
I
I'm
know.
about to give you, another full bucket load of these with all the last 15 issues. And there's a lot of Stormcasts and characters that have come
Oh,
out in the last few issues that I've got. So you'll be getting a lot of those. So
yeah,
get ready for the headaches.
some of those characters I might have to try and offload somehow, because yeah, you can only have ones of, unless I.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can actually give them other weapons, because they're all what you see is what you get. So yeah. Uh,
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like same with the Nighthaunt. There's only so much you can have with the characters.
yeah.
But it's looking pretty mighty. And as I said, once I add all my other stuff, give it to you. That next load, you're gonna have so much stuff. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cool.
All right, moving on to Blood Bowl. This is some of the projects I have in the works. You can see here the Shambling Undead team. I've always wanted that. And what I did is I converted one of my Nighthaunt miniatures and I turned it into Bryce the Slice. So he's got like a sword there. I've given him shoulder pads and stuff. It looks pretty cool. Other than that, it's just the standard team from the box. I've got my Black Orcs. My Black Orcs are pretty cool, and I've actually painted half of them over here. You can see here, I'll show you the Troll. Quite happy with how this one come out. Actually, this is sort of standard theme for my actual force here. The highlights and some of the things I got on that I thought come out pretty good. Some of my better painting, and the Black Orc himself, this is like a test model for the rest of the Black Orcs. I'm pretty happy with this. What I did is, I'm really a big fan of using metallics and then putting contrast paints over them. It makes the armor look really good, really pops it out and gives it a silver sheen. And I've been using that a lot on these kind of models, just to keep that metallic look about them. And you guys have seen my elf force as well. That's actually totally completed for now, anyway, until I get some more star players. I'll just show you here the Tree Man and what he's got going there. But I did do a few videos on this team, and they've been one of my sort of game reports as well. I do have the Imperial team as well, though I didn't put that on here, I forgot to. But I'm not really planning on using them. They don't really stand out to me. I'm more into my, the 3 teams you see here are probably what I'll play mainly. But Wood Elves have been my main with Blood Bowl. And just as a little teaser up there, I've got one of my Blood Bowl companions. It's the only one I could find. I do have the original Blood Bowl stuff somewhere. That was one of the books I could find. You can see the elf cheerleader there on the cover. But yeah, that's Blood Bowl. We've been really getting into it. I haven't managed to. Have we had a game yet, Castle? I don't think.
No,
I've been playing with my nephews mainly.
yeah, I played with one of your nephews, and we didn't think that I'd actually go that well, but I was able to I want to say 3-0
Okay.
using Skaven against Black Orcs, I think.
Yeah.
We thought that I, like, being my first game in a very long time, thought that wouldn't get anywhere, but just luck of the dice rolls. I think that from memory, his troll just couldn't throw anything.
Okay.
Just
that
kept
hurts.
rolling ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's some of my Blood Bowl projects that I've got on the works. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I mean, I'd say suggestions, but it's not really a lot of suggestion stuff. I will be doing a couple of videos on the Black Orcs once I finish that team, which I'm close. And then on the Shambling Undead as well, which will probably be one of my main teams because I've always wanted that one.
And I'll just jump in there. Like, I don't have that much. Like, it's just my Skaven team at the moment. I do have a Nurgle team that I haven't put together, so that's not featured here. Plus, I have whatever came in the box set, which, again, hasn't been put together. So there's nothing really to talk about. I do have a proxy Rat Ogre there because at the time of when we were putting this together, it was out of print. I couldn't get it. It's now able to be ordered, but I balked at the delivery cost. I don't think it was delivery cost. It was just the time frame. I kind of want things as fast as possible, and it was like, oh yeah, 2 weeks to get there, and I was just like, no, I'll stay with my proxy for the moment. Don't play it enough, so
Well, yeah, works for now, doesn't it? Does the
yeah,
same job.
yeah. If I do go into a competitive league, officially at one of the Warhammer stores, that I will order the right proper one in, but it does its job at the moment.
Moving on to Epic Armageddon, been doing a lot of videos on this lately. Here's some of the stuff that I have to paint straight up, and you would have seen my video on the 9,000 points of Eldar that I had. There's the 6,000 points like still sitting in the box. I have a lot of stuff, heaps of tanks, a couple more Titans. I've got to repair a couple more Revenants as well. I've got some super heavy tanks there, the Phantom, the Vampire Bomber, and plus heaps of troops. So the second lot of forces I'm going to do is my, I think it's the Iltan, I think it is, or the Aspect Warriors. So I'll be doing that next, which will be pretty cool. Other than that, you can see the forces that I do have completed behind there, being my Emperor's Children force, which is substantial. It's about 4,000 points now. I've added those sort of smaller Titans into it, and the Demonettes. They're a newer acquisition. And I finished those for the last couple of battle reports you've seen. You guys would have seen them in action. And then my Iron and Elder Force as well, which is a good 3,000 points at the moment. And I do plan on expanding that a little bit with some more troop options, just so I've got a bit of variation. really happy with how these two forces come out. They both play really good and fairly evenly matched. Although the Emperor's Children did manage to get the upper hand on the Eldar a couple of times, but I think a lot of that was bad rolls too. But yeah, both really good teams. Happy with it. I really love the scale. I think out of all the games we play, I think probably my favorite has been, and that's probably a soft spot I've got from when I was a kid. So like I really loved the epic stuff and collected a little, but never had enough time or money back then to really play it. So now really gone to town. And as you see with these forces, like one of these forces is full proxy with a couple of things, which is the Emperor Children. So it's a proxy force. And then the other force is a full traditional. The older one is all GW stuff from the original gear. So I think the next force that I do, I'll actually 3D print. So I've got, then I'll have a force for each. Then I'll have like a 3D printed one, a proxy one, and an original one. But there's something about and you're probably on the same page too, something about the original Eldar that I just love that look, and I love that. It's what I remember as a kid. So that's why I really wanted to get the, the classic stuff for that army, just because I really like that look.
Yeah, I forget what you gifted me for, but your Imperial Guard. Was that the first thing that you collected? You gave it to
I
me
think so.
ages ago. So when I get time, I'm actually going to flesh that out. Plus, I want to look at a Necron Force as well down the track.
There is really good proxy stuff for both those, and Imperial Guard is probably the easiest one to collect proxy, because it's just, you look on 3D printing and there's just so much stuff, eh? And then also Vanguard Ventures, a few others have some really good stuff, all the tanks, everything. So you can really go to town with that stuff. But I did give you that original box set I have of the starter, like the troop starter, and then I think a few Chimera tanks as well. I think I had in there as well. Yeah, because I used to have a lot of things, but again, all this stuff's just been lost over time. But what you're seeing in front of you now is what I have at the moment. And you can see I've got a lot of Eldar stuff to paint. But I'm actually happy about that. Out of all the painting I do too, I actually really enjoy painting the smaller stuff. I think I just like the smaller scales better myself personally. And I think as a game, I think Epic in general, just portrays the Warhammer 40,000 universe better for me. I like the larger scope. Like I like having lots of tanks and big titans and stuff. Because obviously in 40k, you can't really have that scope easily. It costs you thousands and thousands of dollars, where these armies haven't cost me much at all, really. Honestly.
Safely, I think is what you meant to say, both for the wallet and also the table, like plonking down.
And there's something about being able to hold most of your force in the palm of your hand is quite cool too. Like you can see those boxes they're on. That's it. Like the storage for this game is nothing. You know what I mean? And everything's smaller too. Like the scale of the buildings and your terrain is smaller. It just makes it really portable and easy. And I kind of like that larger, looking down on the battlefields feel about it too. And it's fast moving. It's like 3 turns. The game's usually resolved in if you've won enough conditions. So Epic Armageddon, you're going to be seeing a lot of that in the future, because I really love the game, and I'm really convincing you, aren't I, Castle, to get into it.
Well, I'm down at this point. Like I've said what I'm going to try and start collecting, but if anyone has any other suggestions for a counter to Lucius's teams, I'm all for it. So I don't know enough about the game at the moment. I remember looking into it and playing around with you back in the day with it, but I didn't have any forces. We were just basically just messing around with the game.
I never had full forces either, really. I just had bits and pieces of everything, and we sort of messed around with.
As you said, like the whole scale of it is actually what makes it more appealing as well. So
I mean, who doesn't want to walk around big Phantom Titans and like greater demons that are only the size of a only like 40 mil high or something, like that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's our Epic Armageddon stuff, and you can see there at least I've got 2 full forces painted there. I'm pretty happy about that, and the third one will be another Eldar force and I'll bulk up the remaining Ironton as well. And if I could pick up any other Emperor's Children stuff, I will, because that's what I do. I just collect things as I go. But yeah. All right, moving on to our kill team content, and it's in alphabetical order, and we're going to start with the Adeptus Mechanicus over here, and basically, this is a bit of a failed project for me. I got it a while ago, and all this stuff secondhand. I didn't buy anything new here, so you can see I got the Atari, I got the Rangers and stuff, and I've got some of the Blackstone Fortress things. But all I got on there was the Prime and the Black, and then I moved on to other projects. So I've really got to come back and focus on this army, because it is a really competitive force within Kill Team, and I need to get onto it and do it. I don't have all the guns I need. I think that's what turned me off, is I couldn't find enough of the heavy weapons that I needed, and I couldn't find them online either. So I'm going to have to sort of find some sort of stopgap for that, for me to really get this force as a full competitive monster that it should be. But for now, look, there's a competitive Kill Team sitting there. It's not optimal, but it's not the worst either. So I think I'll be doing that in the near future, hopefully.
There's also nothing wrong with black and red undercoat. It's pretty much what most of my stuff is done in.
Yeah.
Just a side note, when a year and a half ago, when I started collecting and all that sort of stuff, Luke introduced me to some of the other people he knew in the community, and we were trying to figure out what faction I was going to start with, and I was leaning towards Adeptus, but I was then told that Necrons were probably the better fit for me, and I've never looked back after that. So, but Adeptus is definitely something that I want to. Mechanicus is something I want to go back to. So, hey, I might get some box sets. You might get some extra weapons.
Because you need more, hey?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Alrighty. I don't have much to do on my Imperial Fist Force. I sort of gave up on it a while back. You can see there I got a couple of Marines that I got secondhand. I got a free miniature there from Games Workshop, another Reaver, which are pretty useless. But my Imperial Fist Force isn't so bad. It's all Primaris, and what I really need to do, what I've been wanting to do for a while, is to get the Scouts, so I can get those extra heavy bolters and stuff, and just a few of the other models to complement the force, because being all Primaris, what I've found is very small, and it kind of sucks. I haven't had much success using it. Could be just me. I'm not a Marine player, and I really hate most Imperium stuff. Like I'm not into it, Marines in general. But I do, when we played Pariah Nexus with the proxy rules before it came out, those heavy intercessors are a bit broken. Thankfully, they've errated the Death Denied already. So if I was to play this, it would have been better if Death Denied was still 2 points, but now it's 3 again, which is more balanced, let's face it. But Imperial Fists, you see there, I managed to collect all these online. Like I bought them either secondhand. I got them, like the single models of the eliminators and all that sort of stuff. I managed to get those through bits, like people who break up boxes and sell things. So there is a market for that stuff. If you're playing Kill Team, that's how I managed to get this force, basically all individually purchased through eBay from bits suppliers. Or otherwise free or in other box sets. That's pretty much my Imperial Fist Force.
So just continuing on from here, also continuing the theme of I have absolutely nothing painted. These are all undercoated. There's, as you can see, there's some Series 2 Space Marine in there. Random other like captains and that from the Recruit Edition, and then Indominus in its glory in the back, unopened, haven't touched it. I'll get to it someday. My biggest issue at the moment is I can't figure out what chapter I'm going to do. So if anyone's got any suggestions on a decent chapter that isn't overrun, I'm all ears for a chapter that you think is underappreciated. I'll try it out. I've got enough to field something. I definitely need some scouts in that, and some more heavy. Well, I do have the heavy intercessors, so there's that.
Yeah, you don't have much like I do, like eliminators and all that, and the suppressor and all that. They're pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
so
if I'm jetpacks.
Yeah, if I'm missing anything that you think I should have, definitely like from one of my last battles against Stardies, Scout just destroyed me. So I'm like definitely getting one of those.
All right, this is a team that I got gifted basically, and what I did is I This is from like a dude who just like gave me all a big bag of stuff. And out of all the crap that I found in there, I managed to put this team together. So I managed to piece all these pieces together and get some semblance of an Astra Militarum team. Obviously not the meta, not the best. And I'm missing all the Blackstone Fortress stuff, which this team really needs. And I'm missing all the plasma, which this team really needs. So, guard plasma spam is really hard to get. Even more guys might have saw it in a video that we did on the 4 hardest teams to collect, and Astra Militarum was number 1. And it's mainly due to that, getting that plasma spam. But look, in front of you, I've got my basic Imperial Guard. I've got all like full flamers, full grenade launcher options, and a lot of troops and Voxes and stuff like that. So it's a good start anyway. But it's a project I haven't got to yet. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm a competitive player, so I like to have all the competitive components. So until I get that, I probably won't start on this one. But it's there, it's in the background, and I'll get to it one day. Alrighty, this is my Azurani Force. What you can see is the models at the front. I've got 6 there. I've got a whole unit of Dire Avengers that I really need to strip. I got them secondhand, strip them and paint them nicely. And behind that is my Force, which I currently have, which has all of the main aspect warriors, which are cool. You've got all those Exarchs, which you really need in this Force. I've got the Spirit Wraiths, which are some of my favorite miniatures. Guardians and a platform. So it's a really good base for the actual proper competitive list. I do need to get those Dire Avengers sorted. And you'll notice with this team, it's a good mix of like different generations of models too. Like all of the Exarchs are all originals, all metal, and they're all classics. One of them I owned originally, and then the others I bid for on eBay. This whole team is secondhand again. Which I've got on auctions and stuff. So I haven't really spent a lot of money. Besides maybe the Exarchs, I probably spent a bit more on those, but the rest are all pretty much just auctions. And it's a team. I kick myself up because I do love my elf team, so it's a team that I really want to start playing more. I have played a few games with it, and they kick ass. So, and as you know, like on competitive scenes, Azurani are pretty much right up there, number 1 or in the top 3 at least. So, it's a team that I do need to just give those final touches to, I think.
Custodes. That's it.
Alrighty, Demons. This is my real labor here. This is a team that I've really got everything for. There's a couple of those plague bearers or whatever they are that I've got to do, but other than that, the whole force is pretty much schmicko and complete. So I'll just show you some of the miniatures I got down here. So like all my horrors, obviously, and I ended up with a lot of bloodletters. So if you ever need more for your corner, let me know, because I got heaps there. And all of this stuff that you're seeing before you, besides the Brimstone and Blue Horrors, everything else is secondhand in this force. I've got it all on auctions. So yeah, originally the Demonettes, all the Bloodletters, the Plague Bearers, the Pink Horrors, all of those things have been purchased through auction sites on eBay. So there is hope out there, people. You can do it that way. But other than that, like this force is one of my favorite to play. As you can see, it's the most complete. I have every option you can get for the team. And yeah, I really love the Demon Force. I think it's definitely one of my favorite kill teams.
The bases in the coming up in Mortal Realms, I think we're getting 2 boxes of skulls. I've already got a box of skulls, so I'm actually thinking about doing my bases all in skulls as well.
Yeah,
and
like my blood letter ones there, they're pretty cool.
yeah, and I'm kind of kicking myself because the free miniature for this month was a pink horror, and that sucked missing out on that. So because I want to run a demon kill team as well, I'm just missing demonettes, which I did get 1 free as with the free miniature of the month. Could have also got a pink, and I've got to hunt down some blues and the brimstone ones as well. So
yeah, I did notice that Games Workshop were bringing out a new box set. It was in their newest releases, and it was pink horror box, a blue and brimstone horror box, and then some sorcerer on a disc or something. That looked pretty cool, and it could be a cool way to start. It'd be probably cheaper than buying all those boxes together. I don't know, and you get that character too, so it might be something to look at. But hey, don't shy away from an all bloodletter team because I took that to the tournament and got equal first. So I mean, they're a really good team. Bloodletters in Kill Team are really, really good. So yeah, don't knock that one either. But other than that, that is my Demon Kill Team. Just need to paint those extra Plague Bearers, which I probably won't use. Anyway, there it is.
Okay, this is my Death Guard force. They're the easy to build Poxwalkers. That is the standard Death Guard warrior team. I picked up these secondhand Poxwalkers. I think that's another easy to build Terminator set. These are the Series 3, which are now available worldwide. That used to be just Japan only. Back there was actually a Blight Lord that I'm going to proxy into another Cleaver, Great Cleaver. So in the back, I've got a whole bunch of commanders, which I'll probably never use anyway. They're there. I have to just paint them. Of all of the miniatures that I have, I think my Death Guard are the ones that I like the most. Well, I don't have that many painted, but it's either basically Necrons, HA, or Death Guard. It's just something with the fit. I accidentally got gloss null oil and put it on there and went, "Why are my Death Guard shiny? Hey, they actually look good." So
Yeah, like slime.
yeah,
it's
of
good.
all my miniatures, like they stand out as one of the ones I like the most.
Yeah, and it's one of the ones you've pretty much got a painted Kill Team for, like a decent painted Kill Team for. They're really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. There's
You've
I
got so
don't.
many options too, like with all those extra models and the Japanese stuff you got, and
I
yeah,
think
you
I
got a
think
really, really good selection.
the only thing I'm missing is Death Shroud Terminators, which you're not going to take anyway. So
Yeah, I reckon you've got yourself a 40k battle force
yeah,
here too, pretty much.
probably
Yeah.
just need some. Yeah.
Alrighty, I've got a few racks here that I need to paint for my Drukhari force, but um, as you can see behind there, it's fairly complete. There's a few other models I have too. I have more witches and more Kabalites. Now, most of these, the racks are all brand new. I had 2 box sets of those. The Mandrakes, the Grotesque, and all the other models, the Kabalites and the witches, are all secondhand. There's a bit of a theme here. I do buy a lot of secondhand stuff, especially for Kill Team. I think for Kill Team it's such a good thing. But I'm very happy with this force. It is, again, it's right up there in my, probably my top 3 or 4 teams that I play. Drukhari, I think, are a very competitive force. And, they just have so many options, and they're so diverse with what you can actually choose, because you can just go a number of ways with them, especially with those Mandrakes, which are like, the Mandrakes, I think, probably one of the best models in the game. Like, for their points cost and what they do, I think they're right up there, like, as one of the best point-for-point sort of models. With what they can do, and they're also the glue in the sandwich of all these other forces you can have here. But I'm happy with the paint job on these. I'm happy with how I've played them competitively, and yeah, as I said, really, really good team. Solid elf team.
So I've been also collecting this. I recently got a lot. I want to say it was for $30 for what you're seeing at the moment. I've got an extra box of racks, and at the time, the Mandrakes weren't actually available. When they were available, I was like, "Sweet, I'll go get it." A day later, I went to order it online, and they were not available again. So I'm
If you
waiting
look
for
at
the.
your Kabalites there, bro, they're a different version than mine. They're a different, like, they must be the ones before.
Okay.
They do look very different than my Kabalites, but your witches, I think, are the current ones,
Yeah.
and your
Well,
racks obviously are.
I saw it on Facebook, and the guy was just like, "Oh, this." No, actually, it was eBay. The guy's like, "Yeah, selling this," and I'm like, "I will buy it." And then I mentioned it, going, "Oh yeah, I also need these." And he's like, "I don't have them." I'm like, "No, I'm just saying, I just need these." So, yeah, for the moment, this is just a work in progress. Don't know that much about the faction, but when I get around to actually, um, I don't think I'm gonna. I might just touch up the colors and rebase maybe. I'm sort of happy with what they're at the moment. Yeah. Suggestions on what other things I'd need?
All right. This is Grey Knights. Like, I haven't done anything to these, and there's other bits to them, but I just purchased them secondhand with a whole bunch of other stuff. I just added it in there. I saw they were really cheap on auction. I got them for like $5 or something. So I mean, why would you pass that up? So I've got it's actually a full Grey Knight team. It only has one of the heavy weapons though, so it's not optimal. But I'll probably never use it because I find Grey Knights dirty, Imperial scum, and the 2 Cybolt thing. Oof, it just makes it such a harsh play experience to play against them sometimes. But other than that, I'll probably come around to this project eventually. Because I mean, it's not a big project, is it? It's only a few models, and maybe try and find some other heavy weapons supplement and get it done. All right, this is my Harlequin team, and basically with this one, it's completed at the moment. What I do need to do is get another troop box and just flesh it out. Like I did a list build, like a more shooty Harlequin list build, and did a roster for that, the video. But other than that, I'm really happy with how the paint came out on these ones. I quite like them, checkered stuff, and it was probably the first miniatures I painted for Kill Team when I got back into the Warhammer stuff after a very long hiatus away from it. So I really got them to paint and to just test out Kill Team with, and for that, I suppose I really like them.
Yeah, so I started this because I found a late '90s Khorne Berserker box set with want to say 5 Berserkers in there, and thought they're all the same pose. I'll go and look on eBay and pick up some other stuff. So pretty much all of this except for I think the cultists are all is an eBay purchase. So that's why it's all hodgepodge all over the place. I think I also got some of the I want to say possessed. I got from you because you got a lot of someone, and I grabbed 2
And
of
the
them.
Terminators as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I'll pick them up.
yeah, that's pretty much me for this. I do want to revisit this at another stage and repaint them. I think we were actually going to do a battle rep, and I was like speed painting these while on the move. Like I started up at my place, went down to your place, and then where we were staying, I'm like up until 2 in the morning, like trying to like paint as many as possible. And I think I was even painting stuff before the battle rep as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, I want to revisit them because I actually I like World Eaters a lot. So like that was probably the first type of faction theme of uh Warhammer that I was into back when we were reading White Dwarf and that sort of stuff in high school. So I don't know, just something about evil. So that's pretty much it.
all right. And I've got a couple of forces here. So here's one we're looking at. This is some of the stuff I need to paint. You see there's a character, there's a Terminator, some Possessed. And then I have a very sizable force of Marines, which I've really tried to sort of do in an Emperor's Children sort of theme, or like at least Slanesh. You can see the pink highlights and stuff there and the swirly stuff. You can see there I've got like Noise Marine as my autocannon, who's really cool. That was a gift from Kaisel, actually, Christmas. So I've painted him up. He looks rad with his leopard pants. My force is a mixture of new stuff. Actually got that as a new box set, and you can see videos on that. eBay purchases for the Terminators, Possessed, and also the Berserkers. I got as eBay purchases. But other than that, it's a really well fleshed out force. I've got more cultists than that I need to paint, and if we go to commanders, then I've got a commander there as well if I need to do that. But look, again, one of my favorite teams. Again, it's just I love the chaos stuff, as you guys can see. Actually, Kaisel and I both do more chaos. Both of us are pretty much chaos players for every game we do. And it's a really underrated team in Kill Team. I think Heretic Astartes are not bad. Hey, like they're mid tier, but they're crouching up there. They're not bad. They're not the
Yeah,
worst team in the world.
if they were boosted a little bit, which I think may be coming with what
Yeah.
I've been seeing.
If they're going to go to 2 wounds, yeah, baby, I'm all
Yeah,
over that.
they'll definitely start stomping the battlefields.
I think so, and they should. They should be the main enemy in 40k, right?
Yeah.
And another like I've got 2 Heretic Astartes teams. So here's my other project. So the other one is a retro team, which I got given for free. So and it was with those Imperial Guard that I had. And you can see here, these are really old miniatures. I've got some of the original Rogue Trader ones there. I think the guy with the plasma, they're all metal miniatures. I've got a heavy bolter and a missile launcher. Those three are all original Marine models. The rest, mixtures of original ones and sort of conversions of different ones. I think they look kind of cool. Like the paint job is real 1980s on them. I kind of like it, and all black and that. So I'll probably pick a theme for these and get to them at one stage. So this is a project that I haven't painted. This is just how I received them. So, but I'd like to make it like just a full Marine list, like full Chaos Space Marine list from the day with no poultice for this force. I think is how I'm going to roll.
Could you actually argue that they are battle ready?
I think they are.
They're period accurate. Like if you were playing them back in the day, you're not going to be expecting like high quality.
Like there's blood all over them. They're like they've been done well, I think, for what they are. But just for me, like I'll just probably paint them back period accurate again. So, I should probably just leave them. But I love that. The retro stuff. This is what we grew up on. So that's always have a place in my heart. So that's why this is another restoration project. I think I'll probably do as a video one day.
So this is just random stuff that I've got that they're not even open. I've just got Genestealer Cult, Grey Knights, Harlequin, which I opened and went nope after I saw like how intricate they were, and Sisters of Battle. Like I want to actually look at that at some stage. Maybe not that too competitive, but it's another probably underrepresented team that I don't see anyone playing here. So I just want to play something different. So any suggestions for unit types that I'm missing? Go for it. But that's that. I just wanted to include it because I did actually collect them, but did nothing with them. Okay, as mentioned before, Necrons were for the team that I was originally told would be the best suited for myself, for my playstyle. Not my playstyle, more just like I was new to the game, so very easy to be introduced into, and actually a somewhat like a powerhouse. So Overlord in the back, I think that's an Overlord. In the back, don't use him. I do have some Immortals there. I haven't actually played proper game with the broken Shield Dispersion one in the background, but I do main the War Scythe one. That's one of my bread and butters, but with the new expansion, Pariah Nexus, I may actually retire him for some of the other warriors, because the new warrior weapon is just great. So one thing that I want to note, I was told that flayed ones, don't even look at them. I actually took the time to modify some warriors, and like that there is my staple. But again, Pariah Nexus has changed it. The new flayed, the new flayed ones, I want to say, just burn the sprues now. Go find some old warriors and convert them. That like, ask any Necron player that has put the new flayed one models together, and they will say the same thing. The worst models to ever put together. They are just so finicky. I actually helped a guy the other day who was like, I completed it, but I have this random hand that is missing. I'm like, oh yeah, the hand actually sits on top of one of the flayed one's hands. It's really like it's crazy. Again, like I've got, these are primarily from the Recruit Edition and Pariah Nexus, and I have Indominus that's completely unopened that I've got to dig into for more Necron stuff. Probably Necron and Astartes. I may have a legitimate force for 40k after this, but yeah. That's Necrons. Like I am actually thinking about a Necron 40k force at some stage. Just don't know where to start. So again, if anyone's got any suggestions on what I can add, just leave us a message, a comment.
Okay, so I've got a few new additions here that I need to do for my Orcs. You can see there I've got the Flash Gits and another Terminator. But other than that, I'd call it a pretty complete kill team that I have painted up behind here. It's pretty much got all the options you could ever want in a kill team. of orcs, plenty of boys, lots of gobos, all the special weapons, Terminator. Yeah, pretty much all the good stuff, all that's green, that's awesome. As far as kill team goes, I'm hoping that maybe one day they put the orc boy price back, because it did really hurt them a lot. Like, as far as their best lists go, the orc kill team itself is very hit and miss. Like, you either go really well or you just die horribly, because they just die horribly. But I have had quite a lot of success with a flash get list, using freebooters. So that's why I've got those flash kits there. I just haven't come around to actually finishing them up yet and painting them, which I do need to do. Like, there's not many models, so many other projects on the go. So until then, that's my orc army.
And speaking of freebooters, during the whole COVID lockdown and we went into to October, I'm like, hey, I'll actually do something with orcs this year, considering it was the first time that I was actually back into the hobby during an October and I knew what the hell it was. Um, I just went to local Games Workshop and bought way too much stuff, as you can see. Um, Decided on freebooters, and I wanted all of my orcs to have pirate caps. So I went on to Spellcrow and basically ordered some replacement heads, and they actually took because of the whole shipping delays. I think they arrived in November or something, so I couldn't do anything for October in the end. But this is pretty much what I was envisaging for October. I'm going to actually shelve this until October and do this all through October. So I've said October way
Yeah,
too many times.
there's always
Um,
another October.
oh, totally.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, you've got a good base there for a team. Just another one on the back burner. But
yeah.
those they're prime, man. They look awesome. Jealous of those. All right, so Tau, one of my main kill teams, has been from the start. Here's some models I got for free and extra, like the Crisis suit, and I've also got some ethereals, or whatever they're called down there, character models that I could advance into Pariah Nexus. It's going to be and commanders, but behind that is my actual force itself that is painted. Always been happy with this force. I think quite nice in the white with the highlights it did. I've always been a big fan of it, and the mutant basing I did with those plants. But yeah, Tau, real solid force still. I don't think it's going anywhere at the moment until they, nerf drone prices, I guess. But you can see there I've got a little bit of expansion for a few new things. Add that Crisis suit in and the ethereals. And I've got a couple of little retro drones. There's a few more things in that too. That's just what I find. But other than that, that's my Tau force. All right, what I'm currently working on is my Tyranid Force. It's quite sizable. Here's most of the models I could find. They're a combination of all the small bugs were bought on eBay in auctions. I bought the Gene Stealers. I bought the Warriors. My Raveners I got on eBay. Scott and I traded a couple of things for that other dude. And I also have a lictor, which I just picked up recently, which I did a video on recently as well. But this is a really popular video series I had of collecting this force. I feel really guilty because I haven't actually painted it, but as you can see here, I've done a couple of sample models. I'm sort of practicing with a lictor there and then one of the little bugs to get a bit of a paint scheme together. Not sure if I'm going to go like a contrast color over those golden highlights on the carapace armor, which I might do. I still haven't decided, but I'm going to put spots and stuff on it first to see what I can do and achieve with it as well. But this is a force I'm kind of working on at the moment. But my inspiration for it has been a little bit low. It's been hard to get down and paint these things at the moment. Pretty busy, but all I'm thinking about is epic and painting things. So like I've got to come back to this and re-inspire on it. But yeah, I think the test paints are going okay. I'm just going to tweak them a little bit and yeah, get a better idea. But this is the original one. There was a painting challenge online, and you basically just put down what forces you had, and then the person below you would recommend an army that you get next. And I recommended to someone else, and then someone recommended I got Tyranids, and here they are.
Yeah, we started getting like well, I started collecting Tyranids at the exact same time. That's why we're swapping stuff. A bulk of mine were bought, but there's also a huge chunk of the bugs that were bought on eBay, and as you can see, they're all sort of broken and all that sort of stuff. Um, there a few things to take note of. Uh, Original Lictor in the back, and I think I've also got original Ravener. Sorry, I've also got another Ravener that I couldn't find at the time that someone had was they bought it off. He had made it wrap around a rock, um, and it was sort of broken in parts, so I just have to fix it up. I can't find it at the moment. Um, and then for some reason, I picked up these extra lictors. Um, I'm pretty sure they're just warriors with just giant claws. Uh, but I also picked up like that's where I got the original lictor. Well, I don't think it's original. I think it's like second phase lictor or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that again,
And
this
we
is
both
another
got
one.
we both got the new one as well, the new Forge World or whatever it is one.
Yeah, I actually built.
Recently.
I actually picked up one of those really cheap a while back. Again, because it was out of print, and they've only recently brought it back in. But I'm guessing if I looked now, it'd be out of print again. Um, when I saw that that was actually online, I was like, buy it now. I need to get it now because I just wanted another
Yeah.
one. But that's pretty much. I think I fall into the same thing. Like I hit a wall when it came to the finding a color scheme. I think the color scheme I'm going to sit with now is a black carapace with red skin.
Cool.
Hang on.
You
That's
like your black and red.
I really like my black and red. Like something about
You're
this.
just
Like
corn through and through, aren't
oh,
you?
totally. Yeah.
All right. Recently just got back into Warmaster. I did a video on this particular force, being the Tomb Kings, and I haven't painted all of it. I've just put it all together, assembled it, and primed it all. But I'm thinking of using a pretty heavy contrast and wash sort of thing. This is a 10 mm scale, and there's a lot of bone there. Like even the chariots and the horses, everything's just bone. The catapults. So
No,
I
no.
might, yeah, no, a lot of Nuln Oil. Yeah, I'm seeing Nuln Oil in my future. Um, and I think what I'm going to do is use some brighter colors as a light, like maybe a red or some really rich green or something that they have on them. It's a very the miniatures that I got themselves are very bone orientated. There's not much armor, or they're very bare bones, should I say? But I think it's a game I want to get into. I'm just about to get into 3D printing a bit harder, so I'll be getting my new machine soon into resin, like my Sonic Frozen Mini 4K. So there's so much Warmaster stuff out there that is available for free, on a few sites, and also some very reasonably priced stuff from Forest Dragon and that, and a few other suppliers. A lot of people are making Warmaster armies. So I think what I'm going to be doing in the future with Warmaster is I'm going to print a few different armies, give them to people. I'm already thinking about giving one to Kais. I'll probably do a Skaven Force. My nephews are also keen as well. So we'll get our forces that way, I think, through printing, and then we'll hit it, and we'll do a lot more Warmaster content. For now, that's what I've got. That's my Tomb King. All right, Warhammer Underworld is something that Kaisel and I got in together. We've had quite a few games, and we actually quite like the game. Like, I think I don't know if it's the ultimate competitive miniature game, like it says there on the box, but it's definitely a good one. I think it is very competitive compared to most games with workshop stuff, especially with a combination of cards and miniature action as well. I think it's interesting. It's interesting how it plays out, and I think it's a good game in itself. I have painted up my dwarf team up there. You can see that's what the team that I really wanted when I got this game, so I painted them straight away. But other than that, I own the contents of the two last box sets, the Diachasm and Beastgrave. I have the four teams there. Paint and the models are exceptional. Like they're probably better than other games where models are really good.
Hmm.
So I think that's going to be my next project. I also do have Thorns of the Briar Queen technically because I have two lots of them, but I just don't have the cards for them. So which is a team in Diachasm as well. So, but other than that, that is my Underworlds teams.
Just on a side note, they've just released essential card packs as well for Underworld. So if you were anything like me, I don't have photos of it. I might overlay the photos. I've actually got I think, yeah, 4 card boxes full of cards from all the different packs. And as you can see, I have 10 odd, maybe, Underworld teams. Only one of them's painted because I bought that secondhand. I've got 3 of the. I've actually got Shadespire, Beastgrave, and Diachasm. So, um, yeah, as Lucius said, like it's actually a fun game to play. The the fact that your opponent can be using any card combination really makes, and because the cards coming out at random, makes every game just different. So it's something else I want to try and play more of.